detail. Oh, okay, now it's recording. Today we're going to talk about making a YouTube video to showcase your club. I'm gonna go through the steps it takes to create these videos. We're not going to get too far into the woods on those, however. I have to tell you, it's fairly complicated to do it, but I'm gonna show you. Oh, excuse me while I turn my phone. I'll call you back. Okay. So Chuck Wade, you know, he figures 7 o'clock, it's time to talk or something. Okay. All right, so we're going to talk about YouTube videos, and I'm gonna run through the basic steps. I'm going to show you some programs that you can use, and we're going to talk about how to build it, how to use it, and give you some history about what we've done here in Multiple District 19. Before I do that, though, we got a nice audience here of about 10 folks. I want to just go down the list, have you introduce yourself. I know many of you, but please introduce yourself and the club. We'll start with you, Trudy. What club are you from?
I'm with Vernon Lions in Vernon, BC.
Vernon Lions, thank you very much. Okay, Jan, I know what club you're from, but tell us all.
I'm in District N with the Olympia Host Lions.
Olympia Host Lions. Bill Scholl.
I'm a chairperson of the Knights of the Blind and president of Pierce County Virtual.
Very nice. Mike Livingstone. You with us, Mike?
Oh, sorry, I just had to unmute. I'm Michael Livingstone with the Okanagan Falls Lions Club, and I am the secretary in beautiful British Columbia in the sunny Okanagan.
Oh, the sunny Okanagan. Well, we're
not quite right.
We're not getting any of that here. I'll tell you what.
We aren't either right now either.
Wind's blowing. It's raining like crazy. So let's see who else is on the list. Ray Zerkowski. Where are you from, Ray?
I'm from Cosmopolis.
Oh, nice. Right around there. Then you're getting really blown there on the coast, I bet.
Oh, boy, are we ever.
Yep, I bet you are. Let's see. Who else is on there that I haven't? Vance, it says Vance personal phone. Who's that?
Hi there. I'm from Vancouver East Lions, Vancouver, BC.
Okay, Vance.
Thank you.
Nice to see you. Nice to have all of you here. And then the last one I have on my list, let's see. I got, is it Stacy or Stace? Which is it?
Stace. Downtown Walla Walla Lions.
Walla Walla Lions Club. All right. So we got the full gamut here, all over from the Okanagan to the Walla Walla to the coast and up and down. So, well, thanks for joining me today. I will tell you what, the reason that I'm doing this, Al asked me to do this seminar. I did this seminar a few months back at the USA Canada Forum in Reno. We had a packed house, and it was a lot of fun to do this in front of 135 people. And Al said, "Well, let's do it, and let's kind of showcase the thing." So I'm gonna leave the video as it was. You'll see it on the USA Canada Forum slides, just like I did back then. So we're gonna go through the steps of creating a video. We're not going to get terribly far into doing actual creating a video because that's really the hard. That's a 3-hour seminar all by itself. But we'll show you how to use it, how to post it, what to do with it once you do make your video, and why it's worthwhile to do that. So I'm going to bring up the, let's see, we've got Nancy Mesmer is on. Nancy, are you on with Roy tonight, or are you just by yourself?
Just by myself.
Okay, well, introduce yourself. Tell us what club you're from, even though we know.
Oh, okay. Nancy Mesmer. I'm from Clallam Bay CQ Lions, and we just got our power back after being out all day. So
gonna say you guys have got to be getting blasted up there on the coast, huh?
Yep.
Yep. So are we here on the inland. We're getting really blasted too. So I'm going to bring up this slideshow, and again, there's some things we're going to talk about. If you have a question, I probably won't be able to see you, but Al can write them in the chat. Al, if you'll keep track of the chat for me, I'd appreciate that. And let me know if there's a question that, if I'm busy doing stuff, I might not see your name, your hand up. So please do interrupt me if I've said something that piques your interest. We only got an hour to kind of get through this, so we'll kind of step right on through it. So off we go. And here, let me put this up, and then we will. Whoops, I've got to share my screen first. Sorry. All right.
For those that may be wondering, he's working with Apple products, so it takes a while.
Oh.
All right, now we're coming. Now we're talking. Here we go. All right, let me come up and we'll show you this PowerPoint here. And as you can see from the title of the PowerPoint, we tried to make the title as fancy as we could, using the video production device in your pocket to promote your club. I had a real good facilitator down in Reno named Craig Durand, a nice guy. The cool part about tonight is no one's going to take the microphone away from you, as Craig knew how to do. So we're going to step through these slides and get right to it. So, whoops, where are we going here? Come on. There we go. So there's no irony when I wrote this first slide. I said, if someone from the 1950s suddenly appeared today, well, all of you are from the 1950s and you're all here now. So I understand the irony. But what would be the most difficult thing to explain to them about life today? And the answer is, of course, that I possess a device in my pocket that's capable of accessing the entirety of information known to mankind. And I use it to look at pictures of cats and get into arguments with strangers, which is pretty darn typical about most of the things. But I have to tell you, it's pretty powerful all by itself. It does a lot of really cool things. That fine phone in your pocket is a wonderful device. Now, I will tell you, having said all that, that we're not going to actually be working on an iPhone today. We're going to be using I'm going to show you some programs that work on your phone, of course, but because of the nature of the size of the phone, it's better that we have it big in a big PowerPoint like this. So I'll be showing you the screens, and they're coming from, I made it on a laptop, but I took all the pictures when I did the sample demo that I did at the end that you'll see. It was all done on an iPhone 12. So there are, let me just start off with this. There are several kinds of, whoops, come on now, slide, here we go. So we're going to start with selecting that video editor. We're going to create the video. We'll upload the video to YouTube, which is one of the harder parts that I always get asked about. Then we'll talk about sharing your video. So, but first, I always ask people, how long do you think is a good video? And the answer is just long enough to get your message across. What do you want it to do? Do you want it to promote your club? Do you want it to recruit for your club? Do you want to show the club? Do you want to show the community a great project that you've done or a direction that you're going? These videos can be anywhere from 15 seconds to 3 minutes. And I say 3 minutes, it's an arbitrary number because back in 2019, when I was council chair, we had a 3-minute video film festival at in the big auditorium over in Wenatchee. And so I said, please bring your club videos, make a video, show us what you got, make sure they're under 3 minutes. And a great many of them were toward the 3-minute side. And one of them, the very best one of them that I think was 18 seconds. And you're going to see that a little bit later. So once again, when you're promoting your club, the shorter the better. Generally, people don't have great attention spans for 5 and 10 and 15-minute videos unless you're doing something very, very technical. But keep them short, keep your message on point, and I think that will serve you and your club very, very well. Excuse me. So our first step is selecting a video editor. I've got 3 different samples here to look at on the screen, and the one on the left is iMovie, and iMovie is installed in virtually every Apple product, from the phone to the iPad to the laptops to the desktops. iMovie comes free with it, and I will tell you that some of the things you'll see today I did they were all done on iMovie through my phone. The center one is I forget the name of it, but it's the Windows version of iMovie. And it is a very capable program as well. And the third one on the right is a program called VN. And the reason I picked VN, it was actually a vlogger's website that turned into a great way to make movies. And the VN stands for Video Now. And it is a terrific program. Whether you're an Apple person or a PC person, VN will work for you. And some of the stuff we're going to look at tonight is from VN because we want some common ground. Now, I'll tell you as we're talking about this, excuse me, that each of these 3 programs work essentially the same way. That is, if you're familiar with Photoshop, you know that a Photoshop is a picture that's made, and then they'll put a layer above it that might be another picture or some text, and a layer above that might be some video, and a layer above that might be some music or some text, other text. So it's a layers concept. That's the way they make videos. And when we get down into the nuts and bolts, we'll show you how that works. So selecting a video editor for a PC. This is the first one up. It's free for Windows users. There's the name I forgot, Clipchamp for Windows 11 if you have that, or the Legacy Video Editor is also a good one too on your PC. An older version that I did used to use back in the old days when I had a PC, I used Windows Movie Maker, and it was a very capable machine as well. One other product that you might see throughout is Adobe products. Once again, they're neutral. That is, they'll run on any machine, but generally they're pretty pricey. I operate with, I used to be a full-blown user of Photoshop at many hundreds of dollars a year, and now I just use the Photoshop Elements programs, which are just as full-featured, but nobody seems to know that, and they're very, very inexpensive. But Adobe is costly. So I don't recommend that you have to use that, but I put it here just in case you are an Adobe person. And for the Apple people, there's iMovie, and as I said, it's free on every Apple device. So it'll be down in the lower side. It's got the star with the movie camera in it. You can't miss it. They also have Adobe Premiere for Mac, Sony Movie Studio, Final Cut Pro. If you want to spend $600 or $700, go ahead and get Final Cut Pro, but it'll take you 10 years to learn it. It would take me 10 years to learn it. So I stick with the basic stuff. So that's the Apple stuff. And then here's VN, or cross-platform stuff. So VN Video and Adobe Premiere and Elements, those are the ones that I tend to use. So we'll be talking about those programs. Now, if you're looking for a great program for a beginner, there's one called VideoPad. I think just about every site that you go online says VideoPad is a great beginning editor program, and it's real simple to use. I have used it. It's simple and it's to the point. It doesn't have a lot of great features on both sides of it, but it is still one of the great things about it is that it's simple to use. So think about VideoPad if you're just getting into doing this, and it'll work in cross-platform, whether you're Google or whether you're Android or Apple. So there's VideoPad. So my recommendation is if you're new to this and you want to start with a program that'll work on any device that we're talking about today, then go ahead and download VN. It's a free app. They don't charge you anything for it. It has some cool stuff in it that I will tell you is a little bit different than some of the Apple programs and things. And one of the problems that we'll have later when I talk about it is a lot of times it's difficult to bring music into these programs. You got to go out and you got to find some music that you like, import it, export it, bring it in, take it out. Sometimes it's hard to use. There's copyright things. One of the things VN has is a line that lets you use a lot of their music for free. And so music is a real elemental part of these videos, and I'll show you that as we go along. But VN works for all that stuff, and I don't get a dime for advertising VN. I just use them because they are cross-platform, and they can get anybody that's got any device can use these products. So step 3, and we have talked a little bit about this already. This is the creating your video part. Now, once again, this is just the overview, but all video platforms have these features. They have and we'll see a picture of it here in a second, but they have an area to import your photos and videos. So they use photos and videos both. So don't just think you have to have a video going into it. You'll see every video that I do is a combination of short photos or short videos rather, and photos that are melded together and with a music line in the back and maybe a narration line with it. So keep your pictures at hand and your photo and your videos, your short videos in a folder when you get ready to go. Each of these video platforms has a preview window, so you can see what you're building on. There's 2 preview windows, actually, one down below and one up above that shows you the actual movie that you're making. The third part is the timeline, where you organize your media. And that's where I say we start putting our media together on these 3 or 4 or 5 timelines, where we import the video, we import the music, import the dialogue, the text, the stickers. Some of them have some really cool stuff, transitions, music and text, and that's how it's actually built. And we're not going to go into a great deal of that, but you will see some of it as we go along. So I bring up this video. This is VN on a iPhone and a MacBook Pro. We'll see it. We'll see a little closer here in just a second, but each of them has just what I told you. On the left, you see some small thumbnails. That's where the photos and the videos that you have are brought into the workspace. And on the right where the elephants are, that's the video that you're seeing or you're going to see. That's what the product is actually going to be. And then down at the bottom of it, there's various colored bands running from left to right that are music and timeline and narration and so forth. We'll show you that a little closer picture here coming up next. But that's on a MacBook Pro and that's on an iPhone. It'll look the same. It will look the same on your phones and your devices. It'll just be maybe organized just slightly different, but they all look very much just like this. So here's VN. I did a short video on a project that we did with my club. We were cleaning up our Finholm View climb, which is a thing our Lions Club built back in the 1990s to connect the upper part of Gig Harbor down to the lower Finholm district. And so I went out and I took some video pictures and I took some still pictures and I did a bunch of stuff. And I didn't finish the movie here, but I want to show you what the screen looks like. So this is the screen. And on the top part, there's one of the photos, a little white band that goes up and down right in the middle of the project. That's where you are looking at the movie that you're making. So as that little band moves over, as the thing progresses, it'll move across all these other images that are right below it, and then you'll see those as well. But I want you to notice that little white band, it connects a whole bunch of colored lines that first starts up on the top, and it's a little music note. That's where you bring the music in. And one of the pluses to VN that is a little harder to get when you've got an Apple product or a PC product is that VN has its own music, a whole wide range of its own music, so that you can put the kind of music that you want in the background of the kind of video that you're trying to produce. And music has a lot to do with how your video will be seen. If it's somber, quiet music, then that's probably more serious. You may not want to do that if you're trying to promote your club. You want something that's kind of snappy and kind of zesty, and something that plays along and doesn't overwhelm the video, but it catches the attention of your viewer. The next line right below that, let me see if I can put my mouse on it here. There we go. There's the music line right there, and it says harmony on it. That's the piece of music that I picked. Next up is text. When you push the text button, then you're going to get for each of these areas down below, you're going to be able to put text into the text into the video. Right below that is a thing. Come on, back up. There we go. Right below that is a thing called sticker. This is something kind of unique to VN. And it puts some kind of fun stickers onto your pages. It makes the view of your video much more interesting. Most of them don't have stickers, but whatever. Right below that, where my mouse is now, looks like a piece of film, and that's exactly what that is. That's where you drop the videos. Now, you drop the videos and you drop your still photos in that line. So however you want to have them organized, then those all go in that line that has a little piece of film right there. Now I say videos and still photos. You'll be able to manipulate your still photos in almost all these products to zoom in and to zoom out, to kind of move around the screen. So motion is your best friend in a video. It makes you just got to keep it interesting. You could do a full video just of pictures, but if you just put the pictures up and then you went straight transitions, nothing fancy in between, and then moved along to the next photo, you'd have the most boring video in the world. It might get your point across, but it'll be kind of boring. So all these things are designed to make your video more easy to watch. I would say more interesting to watch is more than anything else. But when you have stickers and music and text and videos that going along and pictures that move in and move out to make your point, and then the bottom one down here, the last one down here, if you are interested in doing this, I'll show you one that I did for my club. There's a narration line. That's little speaker right here. So you can speak into your computer or to any microphone that you have. And that will create that'll create the oh, there we go. Come on back. Anyway, it's in yellow below the pictures right there now. That's the narration line. That's for you to overdub. Well, here's what we're doing here. Here's what we're doing here. And I'll show you one that I did for my club. And we actually did it in an interesting way. My club president actually recorded the background, the narration that he wanted on his iPhone, and he sent me that file, and I put that down on that line, the narration line, and then we built the whole video around that. So lots of ways that you can do this. All right, so, and we'll get back to the building of it in a bit, but that's just kind of the quick and the dirty. So the difficult part, I won't say difficult part, but sometimes you have to learn how to do this, is to upload your video to YouTube. We'll go through some of the steps on that as we go along. And I guess people ask, well, why YouTube? And the answer is pretty simple. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's free. So yes, emphasize that. Use it because it's free. It's the world's largest online video sharing site. 2.6 billion users, 122 million daily visitors. And it's stored on their server. Now, what does it mean when I say it's stored on their server? Well, a typical video might run 300 megabytes. That's a large video file. And if you tried to send that to a friend of yours, I will guarantee you that your server or your email server will say, no, thank you. I can't send a file that's that big. They stop generally the phone or those attachments. You can generally get maybe 25 or 30 megabytes out of them, but you'll never get 300 megabytes out of them. They just won't take that. So by using YouTube, we create our video and we process it to YouTube and we upload it to YouTube. And then all that we receive in return is a video file that we're then able to copy and paste and send to everybody. So they don't have to download this video. In fact, they can't download it. They don't have to download the video. Well, to see it, all they got to do is push the button and instantly it comes up because it's stored on the YouTube server files. So that's why we are doing what we're doing. There are other organizations that do Vimeo comes to mind, that they charge a little bit more, but I use YouTube because it's so prevalent around the world and it's free to your club to use. So YouTube's owned by Google, so to use it, you have to sign up for a Google account. And that's why I know a lot of people have Gmail accounts. That's a Google account. You go in the same place that you would sign up for any Gmail account, and you would essentially sign up as a YouTube user as well. The second step of that is you'll create your video and you'll send it on to YouTube. And then I put this next line in here because it's kind of important. If you aren't paying attention and you just upload it, you say, wow, I got it to upload it. Things are looking good. And it's not in the high definition version. That's what HD stands for. Then you won't get the best viewing of this thing. So there's two buttons when you get to YouTube, and I hope we'll see it when we get up here a little bit. One calls for SD, which is standard, whatever it is. Yeah. Standard, and HD is the standard definition and high definition. And you want it in high definition. That's 1080p. That gives you the best clarity. Takes a little longer to upload. That's the problem. But again, we're dealing with times it might take 15 or 20 or 30 minutes to upload your video to YouTube. And it's worth the wait to do it in high definition, I believe. So here's a slide that shows here we are on Google. This is my particular Google page. And this is the steps that we're going to take to upload it to YouTube. And this is generally the hardest part. I get the most questions about this part. So you go on to your Google page. You're a Google user because you've signed up for Gmail and you've signed up for YouTube. And you come up here right up here here's the little balloon from Reno, and you come down and you see this is called the waffle. It looks a little bit like a waffle, and it's got a whole bunch of different things that happen in there. So you push on the waffle, and you're going to get a whole other host of Google things. So this is what clicks up when you push on the little waffle over there. You have your account and search and maps, and YouTube is highlighted because I've highlighted it. But there's all these other things that come up with Google as well. So you click on YouTube, and when you click on YouTube, you'll get, in your case, you're going to have a YouTube channel, or you're going to have you'll be signed up for YouTube. This will be your YouTube page. So here's my YouTube page. This is what it looks like. And all these videos that you see in front of you are all videos that I did for various things that we did. A flapjack fundraiser. We did the Gig Harbor Lines Maritime. I did the 5-minute history of Northwest Lurk. And then you're going to see this Join the Gig Harbor Lions Club one at the end here a little bit. We'll show you some other videos as well. So those are all mine. So you're on your YouTube page, and so what you're trying to do then is figure out, how am I going to get, move over here, how am I going to make a video? You're going to come up here where the little plus is. Don't do that yet, but when you click that little plus, you're going to get two other things. One is going to say upload video, and the other one says go live. We don't want to go live. You want to upload your video. So far we're moving along through the steps. It's kind of self-explanatory, but some of these things are hidden a little bit. So that's why I'm paying attention to doing all this stuff. So when you push that little camera thing and upload your video, here's the screen that you're going to get. Drag and drop video files to upload. Now, what I recommend is, when you're going to start doing a video, you need to organize yourself, and you need to put on your desktop or on your phone or wherever you have it, you need to have a file that will contain the pictures, the still pictures and the video pictures that you plan on using, so that you don't have to spend a lot of time searching around for all this stuff. If I were doing a video right now, I would have a file on my desktop that contained the 2 or 3 little videos that I was going to use, and maybe the 8 or 10 little other photos that I was going to use, maybe a music selection. So it's all there before you get started. So you're not spending a lot of time going, well, where did I put the music and how do I get music? So make a file, keep that file right on your desktop. And that's what you'll be doing when you hit select files, man, there you are. You got a file on your desktop that you can go right to. You can minimize the screen a little bit, move it over if you want. You can drag and drop, which is another easy way to do it. Probably an easier way to do it than the select files part. So I recommend the drag and drop as well. So this is where you're going to get all your files into your little movie making window space. So we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. So one of the first things that happens, this is the next page. And one of the very first things that happens is it's going to ask you, and I'm sorry, you can't see the whole screen here, but it's going to ask you, what do you want to call this? And of course, we're going to show you this Reno Strides Walk video, but I put Reno Strides Walk 9/21/23. And then the description goes down here. And really, as you've already hit the upload button and it's processing the upload, and while you're waiting around, you're filling in all these forms on the detail plan, and you just don't see it on this one, but you'll see it on the next slide. The next slide shows, and we're only a few minutes into this, the next slide shows, holy cow, we've already got the video uploaded. This is a Strides Walk video that I did. And right below, the key to look at this now is, there's the picture. It's a thumbnail picture of what's going on in your 1 minute and 39-second video. And right below it, it has the video link. That's the link that you're going to be, when this is all processed and done, that's the link that you're going to use to send to your friends, to put on your Facebook page, to put on Instagram or YouTube or whatever you want, to use it however you want. But that's the key, is that link right there. So you don't have to lug around 350 or 500 megabytes of space. It's all done for you. So while it's processing, I'll take you up here. You see the line, the word details there. There's 4 waypoints along that. And so the first thing it does is asking you these questions. And there's a couple more down below that, but I didn't show that because this is just a screenshot. And so as you're moving along, you realize, all right, it's already uploaded. It's still processing, but you see a thumbnail that it's already picked. And you can change that thumbnail to anything you want. Doesn't have to be that one, but it worked out pretty good for what I did here. And so you're watching that. You've got the details up here on the upper left. details, video elements, checks, and visibility. And all this is part of the process of it as you've uploaded your video. So once again, you see in the details, they're asking you a couple of things here. And I bring this screen up because it says this video is made for kids. And you always want to check yes, primarily because everything that you do, that you want to promote your club in the most wholesome way that you possibly can. Why would you not want to make this for kids? And I always use that as a guideline. Yes, it's made for kids. That way, it's no doubt what it's for. It's a Lions Club video that's going to be used in a very, very wholesome way. And I'm not sure why you'd ever check, no, it's not made for kids. I've never checked that box, so I don't know. But that's something to remember. So we've done details. The video elements block isn't highlighted yet, but the checks block is. And what they're doing is they're going through all kinds of things inside the video to make sure various music and copyright laws and so forth like that are being complied with. So the next slide is very important. This is how do you want to have to save or to publish your video. Now on the left, you'll see a column right underneath the details page. You'll see a column that says save or publish. And when you click on the save or publish, it'll give you three options: private, unlisted, and public. Now, eventually you want to get to public, and I'll tell you how to do that in a second. But the reason that you want to click private in the very beginning is you want to be able to see this video in its glory and to make sure you haven't goofed something up really bad and you have to start all over. Is it something you want everyone to see, or, well, maybe we need to start over? So I click on private until such time as it's ready to be released, to make sure that I haven't misspelled some text, or make sure something doesn't skip in the audio or the video. And so keep it in private until it's time, then until you've gone through it to make sure that's exactly the video that I want. And then you can come back out and you can do two things from there. You can make it unlisted, where, as it says, anyone with the link can watch your video, or you can go public with it. And always after I review it, when in the private thing, I always click on public, because I want people to be able to discover this. You might be surprised how many views you get on a video that you make, and you're just planning on using it for your club or your community, but people from all over the world will be able to see it when you click that public button. So I encourage you to use the public. But if it's something you just want to send to your club and you don't care if anybody else sees it, you're doing a project and it's not important, click unlisted and you'll be able to do the same thing. The key to it is down there in the corner where it says the video link, and that's the key to it right there, that you'll be able to send to people. So eventually put it on public, that way people around the world can see your video. So next up is sharing your video. And of course, we want to be able to see it on YouTube, of course, but we also might want to see it on Instagram, on Facebook in particular. A lot of Lions clubs still use Facebook. Mine does. I think that's probably what most of us use. Some of the younger Lions clubs might want to have it on X or Twitter, as it was called. Or Instagram. That's up to you how you decide to post it. Al and I were walking around Nanaimo one day and ran across this sign. I thought that was kind of, please like and follow this post. So off we go. So that's how you share. We'll talk a little bit more about sharing as we get down on the thing. Now, here's a minute and 35 seconds. This is a couple of 3 years old. It's a little dated now, but this is the one where my club president actually took his iPhone, put it in record mode, and recorded the narration. And then I came back in and I put the video and the pictures, the still pictures, all together with some music. And I'll show you just what this looks like. This is a minute and 35 seconds long.
We are the Gig Harbor Lions. We're not about funny hats and secret handshakes. We're about making our little corner of the world a better place. For 90 years, our motto has been, we serve. We collect food for those in need. One lion found he could get surplus food and has delivered van loads to the fish food bank and has handed it out one-on-one to homeless on the Key Peninsula. His idea, his project. We helped collect 2,000 Christmas gifts in a pandemic so that no child would go without a toy and a pair of pajamas this year. We clean up litter on North Harbor View Drive. We give dictionary to every third grader in the school district. We collect, clean, and grade discarded eyeglasses and send them overseas to those who might otherwise never own a pair. Sure, in the past, the Lions built the bleachers for the high school, the Finholm View Climb, and the Little League ball fields. Today, we're doing what we can wherever we see a need. We would love for you to join us. If you don't see a project that grabs your attention, bring us your ideas. We'll encourage you and help make your ideas reality. Where there's a need, there's a Gig Harbor Lion since 1931.
Bravo.
So that had all the elements that make a good video. Lots of motion. There was music. There was narration in the background. So that's the kind of thing that you can do with VN, with iMovie, with the PC products. And so I encourage you to start working on this. It's really fun. It's fun to do. It takes some time to do it, but it's fun to do. So,
John, a couple of questions have come through. Nancy was talking about working with VN and utilizing their music, that sometimes there's commercials attached with that music as well. Is that, did I get
On
that right?
YouTube. That's why I'm looking forward to VN. On
Oh,
YouTube, if you use their music, then they can put any commercial they want on your video. That's not a good deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
The music, it's an interesting thing. I generally have just gone ahead and used whatever I want for music. When I think of some piece of music, sometimes I build a video with that music in mind. I haven't had a problem with the advertising yet because I'm not monetized, and that is I don't intend to ever make any money off these. So make sure that one of the buttons that you click is the non-monetizing button, meaning that you don't really want to do this for money. And there shouldn't be any advertising, Nancy. I think that's the way it worked, but you may be right. There could be ads that go along with it no matter what. So
that's if you use their selection of music. But I have tried to just use music I had, and they come back on YouTube and say, this is copyright, you can't use it. Or
yes,
I have been blocked when I've tried to use music that I just liked and I thought it was perfect.
right. Well, that's why I say VN has a lot of music, and it's all free. It comes right inside the program. So that's why I offer it, because I've made a couple of things on VN, and their music selection is good enough for me.
Cool.
When it comes to music and copyright, I discovered by accident a very interesting item. I was doing one of these sessions that we're in tonight, and before I opened up the screen and introduced the speaker and so forth, I had music playing, and I started the recording and then turned off the music. It had about 2 seconds of music in there. I recorded it, uploaded it to YouTube. YouTube flagged it. 2 seconds worth of music, identified the name of the tune and the artist involved, and said, you can't use this.
They have a very long-standing problem with that. I'll tell you this: one of the groups that I like to use their music for are the Eagles. And so one day I did an aviation video that I wanted to show some of my partners, where we take our airplane out and we land at a kind of a country airport. And it's a real challenge, a lot of fun for pilots, but it's a real challenge. It's 1,800 feet long, and then you land one way and you take off the other way. And so I put the entirety of the Eagles song "Get Over It" on there, and I thought, okay, you guys, go ahead and catch me. I'm publishing this to YouTube, and I did, and they didn't take me down, which is surprising because the Eagles, they don't like using any of their stuff. So you just have to be careful. Yeah.
Vance also has a question. When you record dialogue, how do you get text to auto do the text? In other words, the translating from the audio into actual text that goes along.
Well, Vince, that's my next project, is figuring that out too, because I've seen that on a lot of stuff where you have auto text that comes up with the speaking, and I haven't discovered that yet. So maybe you can tell us when you find out, let us know. That's my next project, because I think that's very valuable too. I see a lot of that, and it's great for people that are that don't have the ear for the video or the audio, but can read it up close. I like that. Good. It's a good point you made. Good point you made.
Yeah.
And when I find out, I'll let you all know. How's that?
Cool. Oh, look at this.
Now, this one is called, if you're an Apple user, this one is called a trailer, or we used to call them previews. When you go into the Apple iMovie, it gives you an option. It'll say, do you want to do a movie, or do you want to do a trailer? And these trailers are very interesting. You'll see another one of these shortly when we did it to advertise the MD19 Film Festival. The trailers are interesting because the music is already built in. All you have to do is supply the pictures and the videos and the text that you want. And that stirring music is in there just doing 90% of the job. I tell you what, that last one that you saw, that's a little dated also. We need to update that. That's still available on iMovie anywhere. But people applaud when they get done with that, because the music is doing the work there. The music is really making you feel good about, wow, the Gig Harbor Lions is out there doing service. So that's why we picked that. But anyway, that's a trailer. They make dozens and dozens of trailers that you could plug in the music and the photographs yourself, and it creates this time. It does the timeline. It does the whole thing. I say you'll see another one here shortly. But that's pretty exciting. So don't pass those up. If you want a nice 1 minute, they run about 1 minute. And that's great advertising if you can do something in a minute. I mentioned again the 3-minute video film festival. Well, as you say, we had about 25 entries. Longest was right around 3 minutes, and the shortest was about 18 seconds. And I think we have next, I think, is what I considered the winner. It was the very best one. There's no speaking in this, but let's see if that's what this is. This is actually the promo we did for the trailer promo that we did for the film festival. Let's start that over. Whoops. Let me go back. Let me go back. I don't want to make you miss that. Okay, this one's the just the promo that we used. Come on, talk to me, Goose. Here we go. Yeah, it makes you think you're living in Las Vegas. That one was the promo video for the film festival. Again, that's a trailer. All those moving graphics and all that cool stuff was already in the trailer. All I had to do was add the pictures and the videos, and the rest was done for me. And it's a great way to do that if you're an Apple user. Now, the next one is the one that I consider was the winner of the film festival. It was 18 seconds long. Take a look. Whoops, wrong one. There we go. A Esquimalt log. I don't know how they did this. But to me, this was the coolest way to demonstrate a very short video can be very powerful and very interesting to see. How they did it was very cool. I liked it. I've talked to them before about it. It's a wonderful deal. So, all right. So, let's see whoops, we did that already, didn't we? Keep going. Hold on. Come on now. All right. So then what I wanted to transition to was the Strides Walk video that I did for this very presentation. So I made this presentation in early September, and the Reno forum was in late September, mid-September. And so my goal was that I would use my phone to do everything for this. So I took my phone out, I took pictures with my phone, I did videos with my phone. And so this particular video, or this particular video that was created, except for the title slide, which sorry, I made it in Photoshop because that was the only way I could do it, figure out how to do it. But everything else was shot on my phone. And the interesting thing was I wasn't asking people their permission. They were all just walking along in the forum, at the forum on the Strides Walk. And one of the guys that I shot turned out to be an international director. And he said, man, that's the coolest thing, because he was in it, of course. He said, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And he came to the seminar and sitting in the front row. And I said, you're a big star at about 1 minute into this. And he said, what? And we watch, you'll see him. He's got the white ponytail as he walks by. So I'll show you that video next. Again, shot entirely on an iPhone. So there's the takeaway. Video is a powerful tool, and YouTube can tell a great story to promote your club to the community and to the world. And I like making these videos. It's kind of a hobby now. It's really a lot of fun to do it. But as Vince said, I think the next challenge is if I can put the moving dialogue along the screen. I think that would really make these things look a lot better. So we'll open the floor for questions. If you want to look at something or go back and see something or want to look at VN, let me know. I'm going to come out of screen share here, and so I can see you guys. There we go.
Hi there.
Questions and comments.
Hi there. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. About that trailer thing, how did you review that? How did you get that going?
The trailer is part of the iMovie process. When you go into iMovie, it asks you, do you want to do a movie or a trailer? And the trailer is the one that has all the squares, and you just fill them with your pictures, and the music is already inside the video, and they last about a minute. They're really good promotional tools. I like those if you're an Apple user. Other questions?
Yes, unfortunately, I have to leave. I have a Zoom meeting starting in a few minutes, so I will watch the rest of it on YouTube.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Mike.
The Ray brings up a point. Trailers and actually movies can be also constructed from within PowerPoint.
Yes.
And there's a variety of animations and transition tools that really make for a very impressive movie as well. And of course, you can add the music as well as the narration.
Yes.
Cool.
That's what I did when I did the 5-minute history of Northwest Lions Eyeglass Recycling Center. It was a PowerPoint presentation that exactly, because it had the screens with the info on it and the pictures and so forth.
Right.
And I recorded that and uploaded that. And that's another great way to do it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, Nancy, you're
How'd you record it?
There you go. Oh, I recorded it. There's a record button on PowerPoint. And so you have to have a microphone. You're keyed into it. I just actually used my earphone microphone because I wasn't being seen on the thing, and I just talked into that and plugged it in and I had the script written out already, and so I was just working the script and then clicking the slides as we went, and so that's another good way. That was about 6 minutes long. So that's when you really need to give out a lot of data, a lot of information that has to be correct. That it's not necessarily promotional, but we did it on account of we got the new warehouse built, and so we wanted to show all that stuff.
Neat.
Takes a little longer, but yeah.
Understand when you're utilizing that narration tool in PowerPoint, it really illustrates the importance of rehearsal.
Yeah, oh yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, what I had to do, I didn't really enjoy the PowerPoint version very much because, yeah, it was a little more difficult to use. But Apple uses a product called Keynote, which is a clone of PowerPoint. And so I essentially recorded it on Keynote, and then I converted the Keynote to a PowerPoint so people could watch it. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't have Apple stuff. So. But when it gets up to YouTube, it doesn't matter. The format goes away. It goes on the screen, and anyway, so it doesn't really matter how you've produced it.
As I understand it, you can only upload an MP4. You can't upload a PowerPoint. You can't upload any of these other applications. It has to be an MP4, which is audio video, or an MP3, which is straight audio.
That's sort of correct. If you're doing, I know when I do these through iMovie, iMovie is a .mov, and
oh yeah,
when you combine all these and send it up to YouTube, it converts it to the MP4.
Right.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool.
You can save your PowerPoints to an MP4.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I've done it before. Yeah.
Oh, that's terrific if you can do that. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, yeah. It's a good tool. Yeah. What other questions? Anything else along the way?
When it comes to like the titles at the start of your YouTube videos, you want nice titles, things flashing, going across the screen, all those special effects.
Yeah.
Where is that done?
Well, the titles are actually done in, let's say, iMovie or in VN. The titles are done on top of on that line that we showed you in the very beginning, on top of the film line, so that you'll see that you might want a certain bit of audio title to go with a certain clip, and it'll go only that length of that time that the clip is up for you. So that's all done within the program. And also, I forgot to mention, there's transitions between the slides too. If you're doing a slideshow on all these programs, they do it. They've all got innovative ways to move from one thing to another. If you're going from a video to a still picture, they'll do interesting, creative ways to do transitions. And anything you can do there will also make your video more interesting. So look at that stuff and play with that as well. In the VN program that I showed you, when you click on the transition, it comes up with a full menu of what their transitions are. There's 2 or 3 ways to get to it, but you can just click on it and it'll give probably 5 or 6. What do you want? Fade in, fade out, fade to black, fade to clear, crinkle in, fly out. They're all there. So yeah, so it's a pretty neat way to do that. Yeah.
Other questions, thoughts? Wow. Okay, cool. John, I want to thank you for your time tonight and your expertise. This has been very interesting. I'm recording this. When we get done here, I will do the usual maneuvering and then upload it to YouTube. In YouTube, search for my name. You'll find all the videos that we've collected, and you can view this at your convenience at another time.
Very good.
Very
Sounds
good.
like fun. Yeah.
Okay. All
Boy,
right.
thank you so much, John, for doing this class.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank you, Al, for
I'm
doing
sorry
this whole series.
we only had an hour to do stuff, and it takes. I
It was
really want to
good.
give
You
an
did a
overview
great job.
more than anything else. So yeah. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Neat.
Thanks for coming along. You bet. It's fun. If you get into it, if you've got any questions, Al's got my email. You can email I'm in the directory, so email me if you have problems or questions or things you want to talk about. I'm happy to answer those too.
Here, here. Okay. All right.